Hello guys, welcome to yet another video. This is White Collar Forex Academy, the home of professional trading. Right, so guys, I haven't posted in a while, and yeah, I'm back with another video, and hopefully I'll be posting more consistently as from this video. Right, so I'm back with new content, like I said. So in today's video, we'll be talking about something that most traders actually struggle with, right? So it is how to enter trades with confidence, right? So the reason most traders struggle with when entering, the thing that most traders struggle with when entering trades is number one, they don't know why they're about to take a trade, right? Number two, they don't have enough reason to take a trade, right? Number three, they don't know how to use confluence properly. Number four, they look at too many factors before taking a trade. This causes them to be paralyzed and they don't take the trade at the end of the day. Number five, they don't know how to minimize risk, meaning they fear putting their account at risk, right? So they're afraid that if they take that trade, they might just blow their account. Number six, they look at indicators in isolation to confirm entries, but end up losing, right? So they look at indicators on their own apart from their main strategy for confirmation instead of using them in unison, right? So I also had this struggle as a beginner trader until I started doing the following, right? So this is how I gained confidence in taking entries, right? So number one, I use top-down analysis to make sure I understand why I am taking a trade, right? Number two, I use confluence to boost my confidence when taking trades, right? So what is confluence? Confluence is basically looking at multiple factors to actually confirm the reason why you should be in a trade, right? So I look at nothing more than three factors when taking entries. As much as confluence is a good thing, you shouldn't have more than three factors, right? So because this will end up confusing you, and confusion leads to you not taking the trade at all at the end of the day, right? Number four, I use time frame alignment and refining entries to minimize risk. This helps me deal with the fear side of taking entries, right? So something that really changed my trading is this concept called time frame alignment. I think it changed the entire game for me as a trader, right? So I will be explaining it in the later stages of the video, right? And lastly, I use indicators along with my strategy, not in isolation. The indicators go hand in hand with the strategy, right? So I don't look at the indicators on their own, I look at them with my strategy itself. So everything is incorporated into each other and works in unison, right? So now let's get into what confluence is basically, right? So confluence is basically considering multiple factors before entering a trade. This gives you the confidence to take the actual trade. All right, so what do I look at, right? So I personally look at number one, break of structure on the entry time frame. I look at break of the EMAs on our entry time frame, and lastly, I look at zone tests on both entry time frame and higher time frame, or your bias time frame or your direction time frame, whatever you want to call it. So these are the three things that I look at before I actually pull the trigger, right? So let's get into an example of actually how I go about doing this, right? So let me just do this quickly, and then we can actually look at some examples, right? So like I said, we are supply and demand traders, right? So first and foremost, right? So we will be looking for supply or demand zones on the higher time frame, right? So let's say price has been going up, right? And then price enters a supply zone. So supply zones are basically bearish zones. So they control the bears. Once you enter a supply zone, that means the bears are in control. We are going to sell, right? So this is probably the daily, right? this is the daily. Right, this is the daily. So price enters the daily supply zone, right? Sorry about that, guys. Daily supply zone, price goes into the daily supply zone, right? As soon as price tests the supply zone, we will be using a time frame alignment rule, right, which dictates that you need to go to a lower time frame to look for entries. You don't enter on the same time frame that you analyzed, right? So in this case, since we are focusing on the daily as our high time frame, we'll be using our 1 hour as our entry. If ever we're using the weekly as our higher time frame, we would be using the 4 hour then for our entries and so forth, right? So this is how it would look, right? So now this is the let me just change the color. Now we are on the 1 hour, right? So on the 1 hour, we are going to have a tiny zone within the daily zone, right, guys? So price will go into the daily zone, and as soon as it goes to the daily zone, price will have to break structure. So it'll have to break this previous structures here, the last higher lows going up, right? So it has to break those and then leave this zone right here, right? Leave this zone right here, and then we wait for a retest of this zone going down, right, on the 1 hour, but within this daily zone. So we are now within the daily zone, but on the 1 hour, right? So what are we actually doing here? We are refining our entries. So imagine, in terms of stop loss, had our stop loss been here, our entry here, this is wide, right? This is way too wide. But now that we're using the 1 hour within that higher time frame zone, which gives us a higher probability zone, our stop loss will then be here, right? So you can see the difference. It could go from something like 30 pips stop loss to maybe a 15 pip stop loss, right? So we are minimizing risk to maximize our profits, right? So like I said, we would then wait for price to enter the daily zone and then price break structure on the 1 hour, leaving this zone. We retest that zone, then we go down, stop loss being above the 1 hour, right? So now let's go back to what we're talking about, confluence, right? So our number one confluence would be what again? Let's go back. Break of structure on entry time frame. Sorry, we got our break of structure on the entry time frame right here. Price broke the previous higher low, higher high, higher low here, and then broke it with this move, went back to retest and then down again, right? So that one is checked out. Number two, break of EMAs, right? So we usually have EMAs that will be moving, like 3 EMAs here. So immediately when price breaks structure, the EMAs will also be broken, retest, and then price will be moving below those EMAs, right? You will see in the chart examples, right? And lastly, test of both high time frame and lower time frame zones. The red daily zone was tested. The green 1 hour zone within the daily zone was also tested. So all 3 confluence factors were checked out, right? Now let's move right along. So these are some student results where they were able to enter trades with confidence and actually also hold them with confidence, because you can't hold trades with confidence if you don't know why you are in the trade itself, right? So the first one here, as you can see, guys, is an entry taken by one of my students. It was a EURUSD weekly trade, and it was held for plus minus 4 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks. The reason they're able to do this is because they know why they're in the trade itself, and yeah, basically, and they have the confidence to hold the trades to where they need to be held, right? Here's another trade by another student. Here, the student was able to enter a trade on the monthly time frame EURUSD also, and held for roughly 2 months, 2 full months basically. Again, it all comes down to knowing why you're in a trade and what exactly to look for, right? So guys, this was the lesson today, and if you found it helpful, please do comment and also like the video and share it if you want to share with some people who are having the same struggles, right? So for inquiries, you can WhatsApp me on this number. My Facebook is your USD King, or you can join our free group using the link in the video description, right? So I do have a few WhatsApp group where I share tips and also some motivation for traders. So you can use the link in my bio to join that group. Or if you are someone who wants to immediately learn this strategy right after watching this video and you want to trade exactly how we trade, you can purchase our Structure First ebook using the link in the video description also. It'll teach you how to analyze, enter, manage trades, and also exit, and also has some psychological tips for you. So if you are looking to just learn and just you're tired of changing strategies and constantly looking for ways to improve your trading, but you're not finding the exact missing puzzle piece that you need, you can just get the book. It'll teach you every single detail based on my 7+ years of experience. Thank you guys.